All right, we're good.
We're recording?
Yes.
Hey everyone, it's a rainy, cold day out. It's crappy.
Rainy day.
But
driving too.
you did to Fitchburg?
Yeah.
Ryan's opening up a new office in Fitchburg. Excited?
Yeah, it's a nice place. So
You look like a therapist today.
I do.
You totally look like a therapist today. So I just got back from the Counting House restaurant in Fall River. Tina, who is a customer here every single day, it's her restaurant, along with her husband. So I met with Tina and Leah, who is the consultant there. Very upscale,
Yeah.
very sexy.
Yeah.
The chef is from, I'm almost 95%, he said, White Horse Tavern in Newport, which is,
one of my favorite restaurants.
you just ate there the other day. What did you eat?
We had scallops and bacon. We had Scotch duck Scotch egg. We had some salad. We had beef Wellington.
Sounds horrible. I don't know what
Nice
half that
dessert.
is.
It was great. All of it.
Good.
It's a good place. So if they have that chef,
They do.
I'm going to be living there.
Yep. So they're opening probably the second week in December, but she gave me the grand tour of the place. Still a work in progress, and very, very elevated. Very elevated. Chandeliers everywhere. They have a wine locker. The aesthetics are very like classic library banker. They have a vault. An incredible space, and I think we're ready for it.
Yeah. Fall River's on the up. So.
I think Fall River's on the up. I think we're ready for a place like that. It's on Pleasant Street. It's across from Empire Hyundai. It's I guess it used to be a counting house. I don't know what they counted. It's
Hence
called the
name.
Counting House. I don't know what they counted, but there was
Money, I'm
there
assuming.
were several vaults
Yeah, so it was
there.
some kind of
So
bank.
yeah,
Ah.
I didn't get the full history. Tina was uber excited while we were there, and I'm excited for her. She's a good human being, so I can't wait for that to open. Not that I ever will be dressed enough to go there, but
Sure, they'll let you in.
I'm excited. But I think Fall River is ready for that.
Yeah. I mean,
The
it's
menu is stunning.
options like that. Yeah.
Yeah, small plates,
It's tapas style, right?
tapa style. So don't go there expecting like a full meal kind of thing.
Mhm.
I think
You can
she's
still
doing
fill it
small
out.
plates. Yeah.
Coffee to
Um,
Bedford's that, and I
yeah.
there.
The bar is a square bar, encompasses more than half of the restaurant, so they're really focused on craft cocktails and things like that. But I'm excited to see the full menu. I talked with the chef; he's a great guy, and I just know her type of personality is just gonna take over that place. So I'm excited for her.
Very cool. Looking forward to the opening. Are you going to get me in for the soft
Nope.
opening? Or?
Nope, I have special privileges. You do not.
Wow.
So yeah, we did that. That was exciting.
Which is why you were so late today.
Which is why I was so late. Listen, it was a crazy day today. It was super busy. We did that Thanksgiving sandwich.
Oh.
We had our drama that I have just about every single day in my life lately.
This was the gentleman that came to you regarding
Right.
the yard.
Right. So yesterday, an older gentleman came to the cafe and said that he had heard that maybe I could help him. He's an artist, a very good artist, by the way. His work hangs in the Narrows and a few other places, the Children's Museum. An amazing artist. He came in and he sounded and looked defeated, like desperate. And I was kind of put off because I was making a sandwich at the time, right?
I mean, it's odd, like someone would come in here and look to you for help on,
Right.
like it really something that not within your kind of
Right.
boundaries.
But it's happening more and more lately.
Yeah.
But I'm never one to turn anyone away, so I listened, and he told me that he had a problem with a neighbor putting all kinds of trash outside and cars and mattresses and just hoarder stuff. And he showed me the pictures, and so I'm like, well,
Like rodents and stuff.
it's a rodent harborage, right? So he was quite desperate about it. Obviously, he's an artist, so he kind of looks at beauty and stuff like that, right? So it wasn't his environment, and and he was a little nervous about it. So he said that he had gone to all the departments, and I made sure I asked, like, did you go? Did you call the city hall? Did you do this? He had called everyone to no avail. So obviously he was desperate enough to come in to seek me out.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I say it all the time, I'm a sandwich maker, and that's exactly what I was doing at the time, making a sandwich. But I'm not going to turn anyone away who wants to talk to me. So I kind of felt his pain, actually. I kind of felt that he took this very seriously, and he was very, very upset. He said he had talked to everyone. Nobody returned his calls, and if they did, they just said, yeah, we're on it. So I said, I really don't have any credibility or authority at City Hall. I don't know what I can do to help you, but I will try.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
did you make a post or something? Because I've been away all day. So.
yeah. So I made a post, kind of telling the story of what had happened.
Okay.
And the reason I made the post is because I want people to understand that if you have a problem, it's okay to use your voice to call City Hall or wherever and say, I have a problem. I need it fixed, right?
Especially if it falls within the purview of local government, right?
Right, because there's one purpose for local government to be local government, and that is to help the people of the city.
Fair enough.
There really is no other, right? I mean,
Yeah, well, that should be the goal of government. In
right,
general,
right. So they're there. Again, that employer-employee relationship has been completely lost. They work for the people. We call them and we have a problem, and they fix it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're paying them for. So we tried. I guess he tried that. It didn't work for him. I happen to have a friend who was here, who's an attorney. And I told her the issue, and she's like, let me make a few phone calls. She made a few phone calls, and within 5 minutes, the process had started to get this man a resolution.
That's. I don't know how I feel about that.
Why?
Because it's an issue where, like, two different people requesting the same thing, and one gets a response and one doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So hence the reason why I posted it, because I think that people need to know that help should be a phone call away, right? And I told this person, listen, I want someone to call this man and say, we hear you, here's the process to get this resolved. In fact, forget the here's the process, just tell the man that we hear you. That we're taking you seriously.
Yeah.
Because that's not a favor. I think
No.
if you call local government, we're not asking for a favor.
No.
We're asking you to do your job. Period. Right? I'm gonna get some drama for this tomorrow too.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the ordinances are on that, but if it's an issue where somebody's violating whatever ordinance, city or something, then yes, it's their job to
Right.
to enforce that. Yeah.
Right. And I'm not saying anything controversial. I'm saying
No, I think they know that and would accept that too.
yeah, I'm
Say
saying reality.
Mhm.
You work for the people.
Mhm.
You got to do the work for the people. Listen, that's why it's called work. It's not fun, right? So I posted it, and I probably took a little heat for that, but I'm
Maybe,
okay with that.
Maybe not.
I'm okay with that,
Yeah. Well, even if you did. Yeah.
right? I think it's a sad situation that a constituent comes into a cafe and has to ask a cook.
I've never seen the Mayor of Kingstown. Huh?
No.
You have to watch it, and you understand why.
But I think it's a sad situation that they feel the only option left for me is to go talk to a cook at a local cafe to try to get my problem resolved. That's a problem.
It's not ideal. Yeah.
It's not that it's not ideal. It's a problem.
It's a problem. Yeah.
It needs to be fixed.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to be the voice for the average citizen. It's good that you can be.
And I will
Yeah,
be.
Yeah,
I
it's good that
totally
you
will
are,
be.
yeah.
And
But
you know
nice
what?
if you didn't have to be.
Right. I'm willing, in a perfect world, I wouldn't have to be.
Mhm.
But we know this is not a perfect world. So I'm willing to do it within the powers that I have, which are zero.
Yeah.
I will scrap and struggle to make sure that if someone has a problem and they think that I can help, I will do what I can. Which leads me to another situation. So someone from an organization came in today and said, another kind of desperate situation, but this is kind of cute. He said that he had seen a picture at Restaurant Depot for this turkey, and the picture showed a slice of turkey like that,
Okay.
all brown and beautiful. And he gets there,
Yeah.
and in the cases are deli meat. It's deli meat. It's
Okay.
paper thin. You could see through it, right? So
Gotcha.
he has a senior citizens Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow at 1:00, right? For 100 senior citizens.
That's a lot of people.
So he's desperate because he has no turkey now.
Oh, and it's tomorrow.
Well, he's not going to serve
He
100
doesn't wanna
people
serve
deli
that.
slices,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he said, I need some help. I need your advice. So we went through, in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, you got to cover this in gravy. You got to do something. I mean, it's literally paper thin. But something kicked in, this old brain of mine, and I immediately called Father Rob. And Father Rob said, we're going to handle it.
Really?
Right? And I'm like, amazing. So I went back and I told him, I said, we're going to handle this for you, and we're going to cover the cost because you have a problem and we want to be able to help you.
Super nice.
Right. So
It's the first time I'm hearing it. Normally I know everything that's going on. So
Father Rob, this is what happens in my day. You think I do nothing.
I know what you do all the time.
Right.
It's just I was away
So,
all day.
and on top of it, there's lines out the door all day.
Yeah.
So,
Want a pat on the back?
No, not a pat on the back. I just want people to understand why sometimes I do things that don't have a lot of thought behind them because I have to
You're busy.
react quickly. So Father Rob was able to get a hold of Angels Anonymous, who had 8 turkeys. We then called Chef Sandy, who's going to bake the turkeys tomorrow and get.
Who is Chef Sandy?
Chef Sandy is Sandy, who helps us with our free farmers market.
Oh, Sandy. Yeah.
Sandy.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Nice.
So she's helped us at all the other homeless dinners and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So he calls her. She says, "Of course," because that's what Sandy says. Of course, I'm here to help you.
Yeah, super helpful.
They're going to be making 8 full-size turkeys
In time for tomorrow.
in time for tomorrow. So Father Rob said, "You don't need to do anything further. You don't need to cook these," because I was going to cook them here, but he found 8 defrosted turkeys from Angels Anonymous.
Awesome.
And we're gonna make sure that they're all set. And Father Rob, in his very humble voice, said, "If people are in need, we are here to help." Right. So I wish
Awesome.
people would kind of understand that. I don't have an agenda. I don't need any more business. Right.
Yeah, you're busy.
I'm busy. There is absolutely no agenda. You don't have an agenda.
I think my agenda is the same as yours, which is we want to help people, we want to beautify the city,
Right.
we want to make this a nicer place to live.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Never running for office, ever.
Right.
No matter what. for
So,
me.
and you're already established. Like you're very successful.
Yeah, I don't
and,
need anything from this.
Right. So you seriously don't have an agenda here because you have everything, right? Like,
Yeah,
so
I have the ability to help. So that's
you have the
my agenda.
resources.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's important. What Father Rob said to me: if people are in need, we help. Right. That's what we're here for. So that kind of gave me a little bit more courage to just understand that people are going to find fault, even with good. Right. They're going to think you have an agenda.
Something.
They're going to think you're up to something.
And I think it's very few people, but there are
Yes,
some. Yeah.
but it's hurtful nonetheless, right? They're going to think that you're doing it to embarrass someone or to call out someone, and that's not the reason. It's seriously not the reason. It's because I'm at a place in my life now where if I can help, I want to help. It makes me feel good. It's good for my soul. Keeps me busy.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing,
Yes.
right?
That's why the same reasons I do it. Keeps me out of trouble.
So I don't know how to get it across to people that there's no agenda.
Well, so, yeah, and I think this is something that you struggle with a little bit too. And I'll talk
I
about this.
struggle.
Yeah, is that,
Yeah.
there can be 99 people that say, hey, like, thank you, right?
Yeah.
And then one person and then you kind of you get stuck on that.
Well, I think
one.
that's human nature.
Yeah, but
I mean,
yeah,
you're a perfect brain because
I
you're
am not a
therapist.
perfect brain by any means, but what I'm saying is that there are always going to be some people that will find fault or negativity with it, and sort of, it's just is.
Right.
Right.
I'm
yeah.
not sure it's the words that they say. It's who's saying it.
Mhm.
Like, you should know better, right? I'm not looking to take over the world or take over the city or take over the neighborhood. This goes back to like the Flint, when we went to clean up the Flint,
Mhm.
and the
It's much
and I'm just
back
going to
on
say
that.
it now, right? Now I feel like I can say it. The president of the Flint Neighborhood Association kind of came after me
Yeah.
for cleaning up a block, right?
Their turf.
Right. The
Stepping
quote
on their
was,
turf.
"It's easy to be a guest priest in someone else's church,"
Mhm.
which in my brain, at the time I was a little naive, was hurtful,
Mhm.
was an insult. Because first, it's not your church.
Mhm.
This is not
So people's
your
home,
neighborhood.
yeah.
This is our city.
Yeah.
So that's when I learned that people, no matter what you do, just take it the wrong way, or their ego gets in the way, or
Fearful of the perception of them in relation to the things.
okay. So you said it in an educated way. I'm just going to come right out and say it. You've been exposed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But even like they may see it that way, but it's not even like they're like terrible people or doing anything wrong. It's just
Right.
that they feel like you're one-upping them in a sense.
And it's never about one-upping anyone. It really is not about one. And this is one thing I wish I could tell people in a way that they would understand. There is no reason for me to do this other than to help who I can, make a good name for myself, make a good name for my children, and be at peace with my soul. Like, I don't think that I could enjoy a successful cafe if I didn't give anything back, right? So,
And that's what you're doing.
right.
Yeah.
But it still boggles my mind every single day that no matter what good is done, there's some sort of territorial
Some of it's turf.
crisis,
Stuff,
right? This is not your turf.
Yeah.
It-
So I've got in trouble for some of these things in the past myself too, and I look at it as like there's this like symbolism and substance issue going on, right? Because
Yeah.
people want this perception that things are wonderful, and then there's other people that just want to go and do the work. Like, hey, no, this isn't wonderful. We need to
Right.
get this done, right? And I think that clashes a lot.
Right.
So those people tend to not like those people.
Right. But we can establish, I can establish that things are not wonderful around here
Not always, no. Yeah.
by any stretch of the imagination. There's a
No.
lot of work to be done.
Oh yeah.
And just because you can't see the problem doesn't mean the problem's not there,
Mhm.
right? Sometimes it's easy.
And I don't think ignoring the problem or pretending it doesn't exist is the correct solution.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the lazy way out. It's the comfortable way out. And it can't happen anymore. I mean, it's happened for decades and decades and decades. It's time to disrupt that system and make things right again for us, for people like me,
Yeah.
and people like them.
Yeah, everyone in the city can have a better place to live and work and play, right?
Right.
If we acknowledge problems and we find solutions to it.
Right. And the thing I hear a lot is we'll get to it, we'll have a meeting, we're passing it to another department, this person will call you back. Those are not things that people who are in crisis or have issues want to hear,
Yeah.
right?
Want something done now.
Right. So what's happened is there's like a culture within the city, and maybe we're not unique, but
No,
there's,
not.
right? There's a culture that you're not a priority right now, but eventually you will be a priority, which just throws the meaning of priority right out of the window. Perhaps you'll be a priority. We have to see if your priority matches with what we want to do today.
Yeah, yeah,
And I just think it's all screwed up.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, in defense too of some of this stuff, I think that there's a lot to take on, and some people feel overwhelmed. Some people, there are priorities and things like that. But I will agree with you that I think much more can be done.
Right.
Yeah, and I think you're part of that solution. I think other people can be part of that solution.
Yeah.
But acknowledging the problems, right? And
Yeah.
working towards solutions.
I know there's tons and tons and tons of stuff that has to be done. And I understand that people are overwhelmed. Nobody knows overwhelmed more than me, right?
No, yeah, you're
So
a lot. Yeah.
I deal with my drama that comes in all day. I deal with cooking and prep and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And then I
yeah.
deal with my extracurriculum stuff,
Mhm.
the community stuff.
Mhm.
And there's Christmas parties to plan for sensory children, and there's toy drives.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So I know what being overwhelmed is like.
Mhm.
But right now it's my responsibility.
Mhm.
So I have to do the hard work.
Mhm. And so more of that would be great.
Right.
Not just you.
It's hard work.
That's what I was saying about the the buildings where you want to hang those Christmas decorations
Yep.
and stuff, and that's wonderful. And what the thing I was getting at is that you can't go around the city doing all this on your own, right? Or with my help, or several.
Right.
But we need other people to step up, and that's what I'm saying. So if it's your building, go do it.
Right.
If it's and that's what I think more of that has to happen. See, more people have to get involved and get invested and get things done.
Yeah, I do realize that not everyone's going to be like us.
Yeah, and not everyone can be, but more can be though.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And these people who are asking me to please do it,
Mhm.
these are people with resources, right? So there's kind of no excuse.
Yeah,
The
go
fact
get
that I call you on a Saturday morning, Sunday, and I'm like, let's go to Pleasant Street and right, like I'm
Yeah.
taking you away from your family.
No, and I don't mind doing it.
Yeah.
Once again, it's not. I'm not like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I will do it, and I don't mind helping, and I think that's important. But I think we do need more people more invested.
Right.
Yeah, and
Right.
not just like, and I'm not knocking people to do this, but call Chris, go do this for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because I can see how that is becoming. There's a little creep on that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and there's
Like-
only so much. You're one person. There's
Right.
only so much you can do.
Right, because I think that's important. That's an important fact to realize is that literally within this cafe there are 2 employees,
Yeah.
myself and Nate. And this is not a complaint at all.
Mhm.
This is so that people understand that really there is no hidden agenda here or benefit or gain or anything like that on my part,
Mhm.
other than I feel I have a clean soul. Right? I've
Mhm.
done what I'm supposed to do.
You're not trying to take down the establishment.
No, I'm not trying to take down the establishment.
Yeah.
Listen, I think the establishment needs to do a total 360, 180, what is it, 360?
However you want. They can do 720s.
It needs to be completely flipped on its head.
Mhm.
Because, and I had this conversation with someone today, just because it's been this way for decades,
Yeah, people aren't happy here, right? I mean, you saw that in this last election. I mean,
Right.
we have a city in Massachusetts voting red, right?
Right.
I mean, that's a large number
Right.
of discontented people.
so that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a good one.
So, again, I had this conversation today, and people think that you can't do it. You can't do what you're doing because it's been this way for decades.
Mhm.
There's a process.
Mhm.
I keep hearing that there's a process. You can't just do this because you got to do this
Mhm.
before you get here, right?
Mhm.
I think that's crap.
Yeah,
Right?
You know me.
And I feel you want to
Just go
say,
do what
I feel you
and
want to
get it
say,
done.
but yeah, there is a
Yeah.
process.
Well, I know. I think that I mean, sometimes there has to be whatever, but a lot of times it's sort of it's like a passing the buck type thing, right? And maybe not even intentionally, but that's what happens.
Right.
And I don't know. I just go get things done, and I've been fine in my life, and I don't see why other people can't just go get things done and be fine. I
Right.
don't think there has to be committees over every little thing. I mean, we even talked about a committee or a board or something for the rail trail.
Yeah.
We don't need 12 people like discussing things for months. Though I mean, if we just we get a handful of people that make decisions and get things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you
like-
know my stance on meetings.
Yeah, it's just, that's not. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to
It's
leave
just
the
not-
room if you say let's have a meeting.
I don't blame
Um,
you. Yeah, and that's the committees. Yeah, that's a big problem. It's
Yeah.
inefficient. It's bureaucratic. It's slow, and there's too many opinions, and then things don't get done.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that was my dilemma today. Is I'm trying to justify that train of thought that everything is the way it is because it's the way it is, and
It doesn't have to be that way.
it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way.
And if it was working, there would be a lot more discontented people.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think we can establish it's not working.
No.
Your decades of doing the same old thing over and over and over and over is not working. And correct me if I'm wrong, the definition of insanity is?
It's not the definition, but, but that is a common
The
saying.
layman's definition of
Doing the same
insanity
over
is
and
doing
over.
the same old thing, right?
Yeah,
So I
expecting
think
a different
someone's got to
result.
put the brakes on the same old thing
Mhm.
and give something new a try.
Mhm.
Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe people want the same old. I can't
don't.
see that people want this.
No. I mean, just driving here. I mean, the amount of litter on the streets and things. I'm just sort of. I grew up here, right? First 34 years of my life,
Yeah.
I lived in Fall River. I've been working my entire life in the city, and it's. Yeah.
But I think we're making headway there. Jordan James Sylvia
Yeah, I
at
saw that
Fiorentina made a video yesterday that he walked into his business and he saw trash that someone had just dumped, tires, wigs, all kinds of stuff in his parking lot. And I thought it was unusual that he posted that until I heard the comment, Chris will get mad at me.
If I don't clean it
Right.
up,
So in his head, it's there, right? Because we're so used to
and
driving.
he took responsibility. So
Right.
he just got it done, and then say.
Right.
And, you know,
But more
somebody else should be
importantly-
doing this, or why are people like this?
More
right?
importantly, he posted it,
Yeah. Let
which
other
means
people
that there's some thought, there's some.
Yeah, no, it's definitely changing in the right direction.
Right.
More recently.
Right.
Yeah. But I think overall, though, it's time that people step up. Like everybody steps up.
Everybody step up, right?
Yeah.
Like again, work is called work for a reason. It's hard. It's not always fun, but the results will be so worth it if you can have a city that's vibrant, profitable.
Yeah, like has
Safe,
good jobs, it's
clean,
safe. Yeah.
right.
Things to do for children. You have, I mean, right? Families.
Right. So now I'm just getting more and more annoyed
All worked up now.
all the time because I know that I'm simplistic. I know I have a problem with saying, "Well, just do it," but sometimes just do it is the right way to go.
Works for Nike.
Right, right. I was talking to someone that I respect very highly the other night here. We had a meeting, and he said, "This is this. I'm gonna change your life with this." He's like, "When there's a problem or something, you have to ask why." And I'm like, "Oh, that's easy. Like, I respect you. Why? I mean, that's
Yep.
the first question should always be why, and you're gonna get an answer, and then you're gonna say why again, right? And do you know this
No.
train of thought?
No.
And then you're going to get an answer, and you're going to ask why again, and you might have to ask why 20 times before you get to the core of what the problem is.
That's what I do all day in therapy.
You say why,
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
which would drive me insane because as he was telling me, I'm like, if you ask me why one more time,
Well, that's how you get to what's really going on.
right?
So
So
peel back the layers, right?
you peel back the layers, right? I don't see that being done here. I see this is the problem. Yeah, but we can't take care of that because, and then everyone's like, okay.
What I hear a lot of too, and I was an educator in the city for a long time too. It's
Yeah.
like
Wait,
it's
you were
big-
an educator in this city?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a long time. And I won't get too into different things, but one was about civil rights things. There were some issues, and and I've heard this a lot. Right? Well, it's like that everywhere, and I hear that. I even hear that in posts.
Yeah.
They're like, oh wow, violence. Oh, it's like that everywhere, and that's another kind of like shirking responsibility type statement, right? Because one, it's not like that everywhere. It's a lie, and two,
Right.
so what? It doesn't have to be like that here, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So those are the buzzwords that I've been hearing a lot lately.
Yeah, you see
it's
that
like that.
all over companies.
It's like that everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not unique to Fall River. It's well, that's the way it is, and you're never going to change it. And
I don't buy that.
I don't buy it either, which is why I think I'm getting all this pushback and drama and all that stuff because I refuse to believe that the same old people should be benefiting while the same old people don't benefit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just don't.
Stratification.
I just don't. But it's always been like that, Chris. Well, why?
Yeah, and then so what? I mean, that's that.
So now I'm going to start with that why stuff.
Yeah.
It's always been like that, Chris. Why?
Yeah.
Because it's always been that way. But why?
Yeah.
That's it.
So yeah, things are changing. I think you've been a strong catalyst for that, which is why I jumped on board, right? And I think we're going to continue to change things, but we do need more people involved, like changing things.
Yes.
It can't be Christopher, right, superhero of Fall River.
Ugh.
Because you can't be. Yeah, you don't have a cape, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it has
yeah.
to be Christopher and Joe and Barbara and Susan and whoever
Yeah,
else, right? Yeah.
Well, that's
yeah,
why I think
being
our
superheroes.
strategy was to get a bunch of small businesses together, right?
Yeah.
Because small business could change everything,
Mhm.
right? If you were to give small business in the city the opportunity to change things, be done in a week.
Yeah. It's-
Um,
it's- get them more involved.
Yeah, so that's why we got the Mr. Chen's, the Glass House, Fiorentina's, all
They've
of
been
these
doing
businesses.
great things. Yeah.
They've been doing great things, all up on their own now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we need more of that.
Mhm.
We need the entire small business community to kick in, right?
Yeah.
Take some
Step
ownership.
up and own areas and
Yeah.
come up with ideas and
I mean, that's a good buzzword. I think everyone needs to take ownership of their own little plot in the village, hypothetically,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's a good start. Is if we take ownership in the city and we just don't treat it like it's our, it's
It's a place I go and then
yeah.
I stay in my spot and then I go somewhere
Yeah.
else and I just ignore everything else along the way.
Take some ownership.
Yeah, and so maybe it's on us to get more people involved, right, as much as we can.
Yeah.
But I think this means people need to get involved.
Right. Which leads me to something else. I think this city, and I've lived here all my life, we have had it ingrained that we don't deserve better. This is how it is, right? It's not going to change, and
It's like Fall River has a self-esteem problem.
a self-esteem problem and a depression problem, really. And you may not realize it, but as you're driving and people are road rage at every single stoplight and everything, you kind of sense that there's a depression.
Yeah, it's like an agitation.
Right. That needs to change.
Yeah, more cooperation is the.
More, and I think that will come the more that you take ownership of, because now it's your responsibility to make sure that, so.
So yeah, there's lots going on.
Yeah.
And you're doing lots of wonderful things, but we do need help.
We need help.
Yeah.
And I'd like to start
From
with the
everybody.
small. Yeah, well, from everybody.
Businesses, individuals,
Right.
government. I mean,
The
everybody.
thing with small business is that we see a lot of people, right? So we really are the mouthpiece. We can be the mouthpiece for change, and I think it has to happen. And this is not to say that
Everyone's bad or
at
or
all,
any particular
right?
people are
Because
bad.
the city has to take some personal responsibility. Like we could have done this a long time ago. We could have kind of changed things a long time ago. But I think we have to understand that we're worthy of a better city. We're worthy of a clean city. We're worthy of a successful city. We're worthy of that.
Yeah,
And right now, I don't think we are. We think we are. I don't.
I mean, I don't know if they think or not. I just know that we need to put effort into it to make it happen. But I was going to say I was guilty of that too. I mean, when I was an educator and even as a counselor stuff, my goal with a lot of people was to help them to escape Fall River. And
What do you mean?
To just get out of here.
Why?
Because I didn't think they could be successful here.
And now,
I've changed my mind on that. Yeah.
so at one time, you made it your job
To
to
get to help people get out of here. Yeah.
for their mental
That's
health.
how I looked at it.
Yeah.
No, for their well-being, like children and everything. Like just you need to go somewhere else.
Okay. So
In order to reach your potential. That's how I
All right,
saw
so
it,
you
yeah,
told
which is a
people-
terrible way to look at it.
you
yeah.
told people you need to leave in the past. You
Yeah,
told
yeah.
people that you need to leave the city
Yep.
to be successful.
Yeah, if you want to reach your potential, you need to get out of here. Yeah.
Okay. That's how I think people still think, right?
And I don't think that way anymore. But I
That
did for a long time.
this is rock bottom.
Mhm.
This is the end of the road, and that's got to be the most mentally unhealthy. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, it's a terrible way to, kind
To
of
live,
view
which
your life.
causes all the anxiety that we see out
Yeah,
there.
like I gotta get out of here almost.
Right.
And I even heard that. I mean, we had I won't name this, but a very successful family within the city even said that to me. When they said, "Well, where do you live?" And I mentioned that I lived in Dartmouth, and like, "Oh, you escaped." They even said that. This is a person
Yeah.
that lives here, resides here, has a business here, is
Yeah.
successful here, and still that perception is there. You know, that kind of struck me. That
Which, it goes to my point that in the conversation that I had the other day, it's been this way forever. It hasn't worked. It obviously hasn't worked. The way of doing things up till today has not worked for the people of Fall River. Their mental
Not as well as
health,
it could,
their
yeah.
physical health is just, right?
yeah, it can get better, and it should get better. And I think we're gonna put our effort in, and if other people do too, it will get better. I mean, it's not an impossible task at all.
Now you just screwed in my head as you told me that, because now it kind of all makes sense. Like it kind of validates what I was saying. The old way's not working. You better come up with a new way,
Yeah.
right? Because we deserve it,
Mm-hmm.
right? We pay people
Yeah.
to do this,
Mm-hmm.
to make our life better.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta make it happen.
Think I'm
So-
gonna get in trouble for this?
You know me, I'm not overly
Probably.
concerned about it, but if you do, I'm sure I'll hear it. So, Toy
It's-
Drive, right?
Toy
Talking
Drive.
about making things better, right? Children
Toy
in the
Drive.
city. We've getting lots of people reaching out, like, telling us their stories of their struggles,
Right,
like financial struggles,
right.
and
We
medical
get
issue
that
struggles. Yeah.
all day.
Yeah,
Right.
and we're directing them, but we do need to make sure that enough things are coming in to help these
Right.
families this year. So if you can, right?
Yeah.
Please give, whether toys or a donation, and we'll maybe put the link down there to the site and all that money. We're gonna post all about all the
Right.
gifts we're buying and,
Right.
and that. Yeah.
And just a side note, people have been messaging. We've been getting hundreds of messages, right? Again, it's myself, Nate, and you kind of filter out some of the messages too.
Yeah.
We don't have a marketing person. We don't have a social media
Like a
person.
big staff or anything.
I could be answering or looking at your messages while flipping eggs or something. So we apologize that we can't get back to everyone instantly all the time. I know a lot of people get frustrated when they get that auto message.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, until we grow and get more help, we do our best.
Yeah, people
right?
want to help.
Yeah.
Joe.
So we have the toy drive.
Mhm.
We've already made our $20,000. Where's my money, by the way?
It's in the bank. It's at Bakos.
We've already made. Oh, Bakos. Here's something.
It's gonna be a 2-hour video.
No, it's not. The what's the time right now? I'm gonna get this out.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so
4:25.
the sign I found in the Flint.
Mhm.
Someone had told me about
Want me to
it.
go get it?
Go get it.
Okay.
No, they've seen it.
Okay.
No, go get it. So I found a sign in the Flint that someone had told me about, and it's this sign right here, and it's a little heavy for little Ryan here. It's this sign, right? It dates back to the 80s, which, believe it or not, is like an antique now. It was destroyed. This was made
You
of.
found it in the ground
Yeah,
somewhere,
it was
right?
buried, forgotten about.
I won't ask why you were digging for treasure. Or where
Someone
you
told
were.
me about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I went to go look at it. It was half buried. It was wood. The wood was rotted through. It had termites everywhere. All of this was faded to nothing. This was not even here. We had a local artist, Jeremy Pereira, who did all of this restoration work
By hand, too.
by hand. I can't even write, and this man is
Reconfirm.
by hand. And this is what struck me about this, because as you know, the Flint is struggling. This right here, Weave and Adventure, is what said I've got to own this piece and take it to an artist and have him do it. He redid the entire thing by hand. And I just think it's impressive. Some of these things like the mill outlet area and stuff don't even exist anymore. But to me, it was like a phoenix. You can go.
Phoenix Rising. It's symbolic, right?
To-
of the
it-
things you're
all right.
trying to do, and I
To-
think that's why. it
In my
means that
mind, because we were tackling the Flint, right? The Flint. I don't have to tell anyone what the Flint is like. It was really, really bad, And I said, if I take this sign and I restore it, it would kind of be like a phoenix rising from the ashes. It'll give people hope. It'll say that we can take something that's been neglected and destroyed and just forgotten about, like the Flint, and we can restore it and we can make it new. And that to me was the symbolism, right? So I offered it to a couple of people, and there wasn't a lot of interest, and that's okay. But I talked to Olga Fernandez at Bay Coast Bank.
She's always interested.
I was fully anticipating her to respond. She was on vacation. She responded when she got back. I was fully anticipating her saying, "Yeah, I talked to the executives, and it's not really our thing, whatever." So I got her text last night, and it said, "We met with the executives at Bay Coast. We want the sign for their Flint branch in the front. Give me the dimensions and tell us when we can do this." My mind was blown.
Wonderful.
Because I was fully anticipating that answer that we always get. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's have a meeting.
Yeah.
But that was it. She responded by saying they had a meeting and they're going to take the sign.
It's great getting.
And I couldn't have been happier, right? Because that's going to end up where it should have, in the Flint. And it will show people, yeah, some of this stuff's not there anymore.
Yeah, but it's a historic sign. Though.
It's historic.
Yeah.
And it will stand in front of Bay Coast, which has a beautiful lawn out front, and it will show the people that no matter how far we've deteriorated, we can come back, which is what I was getting at.
Yeah.
I don't know why people. I don't know why people wouldn't understand that. It's not like I took a sign and said, let's just. There was like
there was meaning behind it.
There
yeah,
was
for you.
heavy meaning behind it,
and hopefully other people see it that way as well.
Right,
Yeah.
which is why we're always interested in the Flint. We're
Maybe we should
always
even
trying
make a
to-
little plaque or something that kind of states this, succinctly, like what that sign's about. Right?
We will do that.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
So, yeah, we will do that because people should know that. I mean, no, some of that stuff's not there, but we did it so that you can see,
Yeah.
no matter how down you are,
Mhm.
there's a way out. There's a way up.
Oh, not out, yeah.
Oh.
That's what I used to say.
So, there's a way up, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was a great thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, so that's going up. So the toy drive,
Yeah.
I committed to 30,000.
Mhm.
We reached our 20.
Yep.
We're kind of on our way to 30,000.
It's stalled, yeah.
It has stalled a little bit,
A lot.
but we're going to get it back. We're going to get it back starting tomorrow.
Yeah, so if you want to, please do.
Right.
Donate. And every little bit helps. It doesn't have to be this huge donation or, I know
Right,
sometimes
I
you post
mean-
like business donations,
Yep.
stuff, but I mean,
But most of them were
$5,
$25,
yeah,
$50.
whatever,
But remember, when you give to our nonprofit, Ryan's not going out and buying a coffee with that. Every single dollar.
And it's all accounted for. And
Right.
It'll be on our website when it's finished as
Yeah,
well.
because you're a
Yeah.
stickler about that, which I appreciate. Because
Ethics
sometimes
is
I'm a
ethics,
little
yeah.
right. I'm a little scattered brain, but you take care of all that stuff. So remember that when you give us a dollar is going back out into the community.
Yeah, all
We
that
don't-
money donated.
Yeah.
100% of it's going to buy
Right.
presents. Yeah,
We
period.
don't pay ourselves. We don't buy paper clips. We don't pay our cell phone bills. We don't do any of that.
No.
Every penny that you give us is going to someone that needs or something that we deem
Yeah, for
necessary.
future drives or whatever.
right. So I don't want to look like a fool, so I need to get up to 30,000.
No, and you have any rich friends?
I don't have any. Just you. You're my
Not
only rich friend. So we're gonna get back on track with that. And a lot of people have been bringing toys. Do not think that you can't bring a toy. We want the toys too.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Diane
if you prefer to
Torres,
do that, do that.
yeah, Diane Torres and Rick Torres, who help with everything, have offered their showrooms to use their trucks there, so the cafe doesn't overspill. Right? So we've already made 5 trips there,
Yeah.
5 truckloads.
You're gonna go shopping, and maybe we'll video some of you
Yes.
out finding bargains. and
We're
stuff.
gonna take that 30,000 because that is what we're gonna have at the end,
Yeah.
and we're going to.
Maybe start some of the shopping now.
We can
Since
start
it'll
the
be a lot
shopping
to
now. Yeah, because Christmas is right around the corner. Like
Yeah,
I can't believe
5
we're already.
weeks away or something.
Yeah.
6 weeks away. Something.
Right. So let's make sure that every child in the city of Fall River,
That's a nice Christmas.
and not just a toy, a good
nice
toy,
Christmas, yeah.
a good toy, right?
Yeah, they wake up and they're excited. Right?
Yeah,
They're feeling
I
good.
remember waking up and being like, ugh, another day, right? I don't want anyone else to feel like that. So we need to make that happen, and we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Well, we are absolutely going to do it.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna be making more videos too, right? Maybe some different things
Yeah,
people may be interested in. So
yeah, yeah.
we're gonna do the life story of Christopher.
We will. So I have a very interesting life.
Not that interesting.
A
but
very no, it's
we'll
very
dress it up.
interesting.
No, just kidding.
It's a very storied life, and probably will explain my weirdness a little bit to you, who wonder like why.
Why is he such a weirdo?
Right. So I think we'll start out with my life, my introduction, so
Yeah.
that people have. I'm very honest about who I am and what I do,
Mhm.
or what I did, or my past. I'm very honest about it. I don't care. I told the world I had a GED today.
Mhm.
Some poor lady came up to me and she's like, "I feel so bad for you that you had to say that. Like it's nothing to be ashamed of." And I'm like, "No, I'm not.
Yeah, you're not
I'm not
ashamed
ashamed.
of it,
The reason I do it is so that everyone knows that you don't need to be a Yale graduate to make a living and be okay,
Mhm.
right?" So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna talk about your boring life.
Maybe
Your-
at some point. We get some things we're gonna do on the rail trail. Maybe some of the
Yeah.
holiday drive stuff.
Yeah. And I think we need to do on location stuff so that people can see what we're talking about.
Mhm.
So we can do that.
All right.
Definitely gonna do one from the rail trail.
Several. I think we got to connect with some of the people down there in a
Right.
positive way,
Right.
and build relationships that we
Right.
can clean that place
So
up.
you're talking about the homeless that live there.
I think some of them,
Right.
yeah, for sure,
Um,
and other people that
right.
utilize it. I mean, but
We-
yeah, and I think building relationships though to keep that place clean is going to
Right.
be important.
I think building relationships with the people that just are not going to get out of there
Mhm.
is important because maybe we can
They can help,
or get them out of there.
or then yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So we will.
it's somewhere better.
Right. So it's getting extremely cold. It was like 32 degrees this morning. So we're going to bring them. We're going to bring cases of hats and gloves to the rail trail.
Perfect. Yeah. Maybe
Hand
some
warmers.
warm food or something too.
Yeah. And that's how we'll start the relationship building.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And we'll start
Again.
conversations, and come springtime, we're going to do something special down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we
Food.
need the city involved too, because I think we need to make that a recreation area. That's
We
top
need-
notch.
Well, we don't need to make it a recreation. It is a recreation area.
But
We
I
need
think
to
adding
make
some
it
of
back
the water
to
stuff, right?
yeah,
Kayaking
yeah,
or fishing.
Yeah.
Or we want to. Yeah. What if you had fishing lessons there
yeah.
for kids?
Yeah.
Right.
I think our first thing is we're going to have one of these on the rail trail. What, Saturday, Sunday?
One of what things?
One of these videos on the
Oh, you're talking about the
Saturday or Sunday?
charcuterie board.
because there's some shopping carts that have to come out of the water.
Yeah, it's cold right now, but
That's
yeah,
okay.
we can see if we can get down there. One's over the bridge, and there's some tires.
Yeah, we can
and
do
things.
that.
Yeah.
Suck
Yeah,
it up,
we'll get it
Buttercup.
out.
Come
Yeah.
on. So we will do that. That'll be interesting for everyone to see because we talk about it a lot.
Mhm.
But if you're actually viewing it in real time, it'll change your mind
Yeah, about what it looks like and what it is.
for sure. Yeah. All right.
So, and yeah, you'll see. And we'll talk to some people on the rail trail if we encounter
Yeah.
them, on a nice day, and see
Yeah.
get their opinions. And yeah, we want to know.
Yeah, I like this because we'll show the ugly and the good,
Mhm.
and because there's ugly and good.
That's reality.
And you need
yeah,
to
and
see
then
it.
What are the problems? What are the solutions?
Right. So you just said it. We're going to show you the reality of everything. I know a lot of people are comfortable with it being in the
Pretend.
shadows, but it can't be in the shadows. It's not good for any of us to deny that something is a
No,
problem.
you can't solve a problem if you don't admit that it exists.
Right.
Right. So.
That's what we're
Yeah,
going to do.
and there being a problem doesn't mean like, oh, this is terrible, or people should be fired, or
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
right? It just, here's a problem, what are we
Yeah.
gonna do about it
Yeah.
together, as a community?
Yeah, I would hope that someone would say, you know what, maybe they're onto something, let's help. And that we become this big coalition,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's what I would
And
like.
we do get it. I mean, that first time we went to clean up, that you had promoted a lot too, there were like 30 or 40 people that were
Right,
cleaning up with
right.
us too, which we get a lot done.
Right, I always have
Yeah, people do help.
the most amazing volunteers who want to help.
They just showed up.
I'm talking about like the people who,
More people, yeah.
or sometimes I have to be careful what I say because I don't want to get assassinated.
You're not gonna get assassinated.
Or pulled over.
So
Uh,
maybe more in the governmental side of
Right,
things.
so I wish it could be a
And some of them
coalition.
are involved too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I wish
We need more of a partnership.
we need more of a partnership, right? I have a large following and I want to use it responsibly. And that following is for anyone right? So if city council wants to come out and clean one day, and they want to use the platform, my platform, have at it, right? It's not for my glory. It's to be used responsibly to affect change. So
Look at
that's
that. Is that your campaign speech?
no, I don't. Did you say that? Ignore him. That's not happening. Now I'm really going to get assassinated or pulled over at Dunkin' Donuts. So
I'm teasing. He's not running for
no,
office.
I think we need that coalition, and I'm going to say it again. If anyone with a good cause or good intentions wants to use the Christopher's platform,
Yep.
have
Put it out
at
there.
it.
Yeah. No.
Have at it.
Yeah, for doing good.
For doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't want to sell your
Yeah.
donuts.
Yeah, not
but,
like, oh, I need to get people here to make money. Not
Right,
that, yeah. But
right.
hey, look, I'm helping people in this way. Let's promote that.
Right. And I don't care who it is, United Way, the mayor's office, what if you want to reach a lot of people, you're more than welcome to use my platform.
That's very kind of you.
I think it is. Yeah.
Not just for cookies.
It's the right thing to do. There's only so many cookies you can look at.
All right, so
wrap
we're out
it
of
up.
here.
Yeah,
Sir.
I'm going home.
Yeah, I am too. So
All right.
thank you, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.